Most sellers who leave money on the table do it before buyers walk through the front door. And usually it happens in three places: the prep, the pricing, and the strategy. A lot of homeowners think that they lose money because of the market. That is not usually what happens. A lot of the money gets lost earlier than that. Before the home ever hits the market, when the wrong work is done, when the right price is based on hope instead of a buyer pool, and when the plan is weak from the start. This is one of the biggest patterns I see with sellers here in North Orange County. I'm Tart with Century 21 Discovery in Fullerton, and this is exactly why I believe sellers need a real plan before they make a move. Not after the house is already on the market and the damage is already done. A lot of sellers know they want a strong result, but they are not always sure of what to fix, what to leave alone, what to spend, what not to spend, what price actually makes sense, or how early they should really start. That is where sellers start getting into trouble. They wait too long, they rush to the wrong decisions, they spend money in the wrong places, or they list high and hope the market bails them out. And that is usually where the money starts leaking out before the buyers even show up. What I'm seeing right now is pretty simple. The good properties, the ones that are prepared properly, priced properly, and launched the right way, those are getting strong attention. Some are still getting multiple offers. But the overpriced listings, the homes that are not prepared right, the ones that come out with the wrong strategy, are getting punished fast. They sit, they lose momentum, buyers are asking what's wrong with them, and then the price cuts start, and then the leverage starts disappearing. So, if you're a homeowner who knows you do not want to leave money on the table, this is the part I want you to understand. The real mistake is not just timing. The real mistake is hitting the market without clarity. And there are really three places sellers lose money before the home ever hits the market. The first is prep. A lot of people think prep means fully remodeled. It usually does not. Most homes do not need that. What they need is the right prep. Sometimes that means paint. Sometimes that means cleaning up deferred maintenance. Sometimes that means decluttering, cleaning, patching, better lighting, flooring touch-up, landscaping, or fixing a handful of things buyers are absolutely going to notice the second they walk in. And sometimes the right answer is leaving certain things alone instead of wasting money on upgrades that are not going to give you a return. This is where sellers get hurt. They either do too much, or they do the wrong things, or they do almost nothing and hope buyers overlook it. Buyers usually do not. They notice the stuff that feels unfinished, neglected, risky, or expensive. And once buyers start feeling that, they use it against the seller. The second place sellers lose money is in the pricing. This one is huge. A lot of sellers still think pricing high gives them room to negotiate. Sometimes what it really does is kill momentum. Once the home sits, buyers start to wonder what is wrong with it. The showings feel weaker, the leverage changes, then the price cuts start. Then the seller is chasing the market down instead of leading the market. That is expensive. The third place sellers lose money is in the strategy. And this is the part that people underestimate all the time. The first impression matters. The first week matters. First photos matter. The timings matter. The showing ability matter. The way the home feels online matter. The way it feels in person matters. If the launch is sloppy, the seller pays for it. Not always at once, but they pay for it in weaker response, more hesitation, and more negotiation, and less. That is why I do not believe the job is just to show up, throw out a big number, and put the home online and hope for the best. That is not a strategy. And it is definitely not how to protect the seller. My job is to help you make the right decision before your home ever hits the market. What should you fix? What should you leave alone? What is actually worth spending money on? What is the waste? What price gives you the best chance at a strong result instead of a weak launch? What is the likely buyer going to notice first? What is the competition doing better? Where is the risk if I do nothing? Those are the questions that matter, because what I am seeing all the time is sellers focusing on the wrong thing. They are focusing on what they want the home to be worth instead of how the buyer's actually going to respond. Or they get advice from someone who tells them what they want to hear instead of what they need to know. And then the market gives them the truth later, and by then it costs them money. That is the part I work hard to prevent. Sometimes the right answer is do less, but do the right things. Sometimes the answer is handle a few visible issues before the house hits the market so buyers do not turn those issues into bigger negotiations later. Sometimes the right answer is pricing it correctly from day one instead of testing the market and chasing it down later with reductions. The seller who usually wins is not the one who guesses the highest number. It's usually the one who prepares properly, pricing intelligently, and comes to the market with a plan that makes sense. That is how you create leverage. This is how you give buyers fewer response to hesitate. That is how you protect your final result before the market ever has a chance to punish the weak spots. So if you're thinking about selling in Fullerton or anywhere in North Orange County, and you know you do not want to leave money on the table, this is the real point. You do not need more guesswork. You don't need somebody to show up and throw out a big number just to make you feel good. And you do not need to wait until the last minute. Rush the prep and hope that the market sorts it out for you. You need a clear plan before you commit, and how to launch in a way that gives you the best chance to protect your leverage from day one. Because sellers do not usually lose money when the sign goes in the yard. A lot of the time, they lose money before that, in the wrong prep, the wrong pricing, and the wrong strategy. If you want clear plan before you make a move, text PLAN to 714-457-1274. I'm Tart with Century 21 Discovery, and I'll help you figure out the smartest next step. What to focus on, what to ignore, and how to protect your position before your home ever hits the market.